Hi. Um, After much time has gone by, um, it, I really take my time with videos, and the reason is because I want to be so careful. I do not want to be putting out stuff and um misquoting things and saying things that I should not be saying. I do not want to spread anything that is false, anything that is out of the alignment of our Father. I don't want to be just saying what I feel. I don't want to, even though our feelings are very valid and important, I do not want to do that when it comes to speaking about the word. Um, being that I take the word very seriously and I have come out of the church, um, studying is imperative for me because I was a believer of a lot of false doctrines, and the way that people take the word and fit it into their belief instead of allowing the word to create their belief. The word is living. It is the ruach of Yah. So I don't want to just go and speak things out of context and without prayer and without studying the word, without reading the word, without feeling the word and allowing that word to grow in me, right? So anyway, the thing for today that I wanted to go over is the 10 Commandments. And the reason being is because I just don't think that people remember them or go back and read them. Um, and if you're like me, I used to say, I keep the commands. I'm a good person. And that's what I believed wholeheartedly, that I kept the commands. But I kept the commands based on memory. And that memory was from childhood, believing that I kept the commands, not going and checking to make sure I'm keeping the commands, not living a life and creating my lifestyle around the commands based on how the commands speak to us. So I wasn't quite keeping the commands like I thought I was, right? So I'm just gonna go over them and kind of talk about each one. There's only 10, don't panic. Okay. The first of the commands. I'm just gonna start right at 20. And Elohim spoke all these words, saying, I am Yahweh, your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, which is Egypt, out of the land of Mitzrayim, out of the house of slavery. You have no other mighty ones against my face. And okay, let me pause. No other mighty ones against my face. Like, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna jump over here to, I was just reading from Hallelujah Scriptures. That's my favorite. And I'm just gonna jump into my old NKJV. And God spoke all these words, saying, I am Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. Now, here's the thing. I'm not accusing anybody of having another God. But I will say, evaluate what you hold dear. Evaluate your lifestyle, the people in your life, and see if you place anything or anyone before our Most High, Elohim. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right. You do not make for yourself a carved image or any likeness of that which is in the Shamayim above, or which is in the earth beneath, or which is in the waters under the earth. You do not bow down to them nor serve them. For I, Yahweh, your Elohim, am a jealous El, visiting the wickedness of the fathers on the children to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing kindness to thousands, to those who love me and guard my commands. Mm-hmm. All right. Jump over here to the NKJV. You shall not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing mercy to thousands, to those who love me and keep my commandments. So, where's our confidence there? How do we, you see, when I thought I was keeping the commands, this is not something I thought about, right? Like just asking yourself, what about the carved images, right? I used to wear crosses. I used to love all sorts of crosses. I used to love big jewelry, a whole lot of bracelets, because bracelets were cute, in the 90s and the early 2000s. We bangled up, right? Bangled up. I used to wear a lot of rings, a lot of them. Now, okay, I do my little bit of jewelry, but I had to ask myself, was I idolizing these things, right? Little fountains and statues, right? I used to like little just things, decorations, and all these things, and I would obsess over decorating with these things. I remember going to different stores and catching sales, like especially at Ross. Ross would have like some really nice decorations for your home at cheap prices and stuff. I love to just go and get those things. And what I had to do was evaluate my feelings about things. Because sometimes we can make an idol out of something that we don't know we're idolizing, even with ourselves. I personally know that I made myself an idol, that I made myself something like I don't know exactly how to describe it, but when I would get dressed, when I would go to the club, when I would do all the things that I was doing, I made sure I was looking good. You know what I'm saying? And I obsessed over things. I obsessed over clothes. I obsessed over shoes and all these things. I remember paying like $400 for these hand carved wooden, what are they called? Wedges. They were wedges. And a friend of my cousin's had put his feet in my shoes, and I remember violently attacking him. Forgive me, but I remember doing that, and it was because I was so obsessed with those shoes that I was so offended that he put his feet in my shoe. I remember the anger, and I grabbed him by his throat, and it was violent. It was violent. I shouldn't have done that, but again, I was a young person who was not brought up to really truly. I'm not gonna say my mama didn't try to get me to understand, and I'm not gonna say that somebody didn't, the church didn't try to get me to understand the commands. I'm not gonna say that because I don't know that to be true for me to accuse them of not trying. What I will say is that I did not grasp the concept of understanding what was being read to me or what I was reading, and I also read in bits and pieces. So I would just say evaluate that as well to see if there's anything that you have made an idol in your life. Okay, moving on. You do not bring the name of Yahweh your Elohim to naught, for Yahweh does not leave the one unpunished who brings his name to naught. Let's find that over here. It's so weird just jumping back and forth like this on a video. I do it when I'm by myself or when I'm with my kids, but it's weird doing it on video. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. What is vain? What is not? It's like bringing it down to nothingness. It is minimizing him, belittling or denying. I think denying should go in there too, because it's nothingness, right? Like people who says that the Father does not exist, or whatever the thing. People say a lot of stuff. I would say those are things that's considered bringing his name to naught, or taking it in vain. Evaluate that as well. Remember the Sabbath day to Kodesh it. 6 days you labor and shall do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath of Yahweh your Elohim. You do not do any work, you nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made the Shamayim and the earth, and the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Therefore Yahweh barak the seventh day and Kodesh it. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall do no work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Sorry, I was about to keep on going. So this Sabbath day thing is very important to me. Reason being is because I never used to keep the Sabbath day. Never. I did what I wanted to on the Sabbath. I used to, work. I used to make my kids do stuff, do things with my husband, projects and things around the house. All sorts of things. I just took the Sabbath as a regular day. Granted, we are under a Gregorian calendar, which has taken our days and confuzzled them all up, right? Our days, time, weeks, months is all jacked up, because when you go into the scriptures, when you learn the biblical timing and days, the book of Enoch, I want to say, was that in Enoch or Jubilee? I don't know. I'm learning those. But I read where it described the days, the months, the weeks, and a year is actually 13 months. The months are 28 days. So as I'm learning this, I'm learning that we are not actually keeping the Sabbath, but we're keeping the Sabbath to the best of our ability based on what we know now. And since Saturday is the Sabbath according to Scripture, then that's how we're gonna keep it until if we are here and the Most High and Yahusha is returning and teaching us. And only thing we could do is learn as we go at this point, because so many things have been ruined and messed up that we cannot possibly do or understand in our current time here in 2026, right? We can't understand it all, but whenever the Sabbath is, I do hope to know one day. And for now, I will continue to keep it on Saturdays from Friday at sunset until Saturday at sunset, and that is how we're doing it based on what the Torah is teaching us. With the Sabbath, with keeping the Sabbath, a lot of people are against it. A lot of people, especially Christians, are against it. I think Catholics are. I'm not sure. I don't know much about the Catholic Church and their the way that they do things. So, but for me, I was told by someone I respect dearly that I will pray for you when I revealed that I believe in keeping the Sabbath and that I will be keeping the Sabbath. And yeah, the response was, I will pray for you. I'm worried for your soul. And I'm not one to argue, right? So in my mind, I was like, no, I'll be praying for you. Because why would you read the scriptures and know that it's in the commands for us to keep the Sabbath, but then you worried about my soul? Anyway, moving on. Okay. Respect your father and your mother so that your days are prolonged upon the land which Yahweh your Elohim is giving you. That one. Honor your father and mother that your days may be long upon the land which the Lord your God is giving you. Now, a lot of us know doggone well we don't be respecting our parents. A lot of us don't. I know that I have disrespected my parents in my life. I know that I did not honor them. I had to repent for this. And now let me pull this together, because honoring your parents, respecting your parents is not allowing your parents to treat you any kind of way, to walk over you, and allowing your parents to interject themselves upon your adult life and control it. That's not the same thing, okay? Because you can have healthy boundaries with your parents while also honoring and respecting them. So don't get that mistaken, because some parents are living in their sin, or they're living in ways that is not in alignment with the Most High. So you can honor them, you can respect them. But if you're living your life based on scripture and they are not, and they are trying to do whatever, trying to interject themselves, or they are disagreeing with how you live, whatever is going on, if their beliefs are not in alignment with yours, you can still love them. You not love them. You could still honor them, respect them, but keep it pushing. You can still have your boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Because I tell you, I have had a struggle when it comes to how I follow these commands, and that one in particular, because I've had issues with my parents, you know, and I understand the confusion that will come in learning to keep those scriptures and learning to keep that command, and dealing in real life with parents, or a parent that does not believe in the same way that you do. Let's see. Next, you do not murder. I'm sure that I'm not talking to anyone who just out here killing people. Next, you do not murder. Of course, you do not murder. You shall not murder. You do not commit adultery. You shall not commit adultery. You do not steal. You shall not steal. You do not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. And lastly, you do not covet your neighbor's house. You do not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his male servant, nor his female servant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, or whatever belongs to your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his male servant, nor his female servant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is your neighbor's. Do we do these things? Yes, we do this. Big time. Big time. Big time. That is a command that is so disobeyed. So very disobeyed. I'm not saying all people do it. I'm just saying, think about it. Just think about what it's saying. Now, one obsession that I know here in the US that it's a serious obsession is houses, cars, clothing, shoes, jewelry, and some folks' wives. Because, even if it's not your neighbor that you get along with, even if it's a man, we are all neighbors on this earth. Okay? We are all neighbors. Therefore, even if you are lusting after some man's wife or lusting after some woman's husband that you don't know that person for real, we still neighbors, baby. We still neighbors on this earth. So you can't use that excuse. We, in this world, covet. Okay? We desire what other people have big time. Looking at their situation and feeling like you deserve what they have more than they deserve what they have because you've worked harder, or because you went to this school and got this degree, or because you chill out. You know what I'm saying? We do not choose how blessings are given to people. We do not. And also some blessings is given by the other one. The little lowercase God of this world, So anyway, we should be very careful about following the commands. That's my whole point in making this little video. It's because I do believe that it's something that we should reevaluate. Are we keeping his commands? Are we living in a way that we can truly, you know what? I was about to end the video and I just forgot. What is the greatest of the two commands? Because some people don't want to listen to what the Old Testament has to say. That's the Old Testament. We don't believe in all that, right? Okay, let's go to Matthew. Let me get Matthew in my NKJV. Matthew, because I have it marked in my Hallelujah scriptures. Matthew 22. All right. 22:37. Okay. Now, this is the two great commands, right? And I learned this at church because I didn't even know that it was two great commands, right? And Yahusha said to him, "You shall love Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart and with all your being and with all your mind. This is the first and great command. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commands hang all the Torah and the Nebaim." All right. Jesus said to him, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets." So, these being the two great commands, this really helped me, okay? With these two commands, it says on that you can hang all the Torah and all the prophets, right? So, with that being in the New Testament, that you hang all the Torah and all the prophets, all the instruction is the Torah. That's all the instruction. That's all of the Most High's instructions to us on how we should be living and conducting ourselves in this world, right? And if it's saying that we hang all the Torah on that, it means all of it, right? So you don't get to pick apart the 10 Commandments. You don't get to pick apart the laws. You don't get to pick apart the different parts of the instruction that he has given us on how we should live. You just obey him. You just obey him. And part of the reason of me leaving the church was because this was not being understood nor taught. And it was bothering me. So I was coming home and I was praying, and it was really, really aching. And I'm just like, Father, why is it that we're reading the same words yet getting different understandings? And he took me to the prophets. He took me to the prophecies, and I had to read and learn what it's saying there. You know what I'm saying? And what I understand now is that, yeah, our Most High, our Elohim, will write these laws. He will write these things on the hearts and minds of those who love him. And of those who hate him, as it says in the Ten Commandments, those who hate him, be mindful that if you are not keeping his commands, you do not love him, right? That's what it is. If loving him means obeying his word, if you're not obeying his word, then that's not love. Love is uncomfortable sometimes, ain't it? I know, I've been married for 19 years. Love is uncomfortable sometimes. Love is hard sometimes. Love is not feeling good all the time. That misconception that people have put, the misconception that people have in this world. It's a little tick happening back behind me. Anyway, love is not this feel-good thing that we're always gonna feel good. We're always gonna. Oh, that's bothering me. I'm gonna hurry up and end this. Oh, all right. That is, I'm not gonna be able to think with this. And since I don't have a script and I'm not talking from a script, then that's definitely gonna be something that's an issue for me. But please, 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 if you care about salvation, if you care about his word, if you care about changing your life, if you care about changing your children's lives, or any, whatever it is, because I don't know who I'm talking to, right? I just know that I'm supposed to say what I'm saying. Please, please, please read the scriptures, reevaluate his commandments, and see if there's some adjustments you can make. See if, there's something in your life that maybe you thought you were doing right and not doing right, because that's how I was. I really thought I was a good person. Anyways, let me get off of here. I hope you have a blessed and lovely day. Shalom.